All right, so good evening. Thanks for joining me. So tonight we're gonna make a little dry rub for a pork butt. Throwing a few things together, gonna let it marinate in the refrigerator. Tomorrow morning, going in the smoker. If everything goes well, I hope to show you how it all turns out. Here we go. All right, so already got a cup of brown sugar. Just to kind of show you what I'm working with here. Like to keep my brown sugar. Ziploc bag keeps it from getting hard, keeps the moisture out of it. Digging into my drawer. It's my first real cooking episode here, so forgive me if I'm not quite Food Network quality yet. All right. So we got a tablespoon. We're gonna do tablespoon garlic powder. Keep in mind now there's already a cup of brown sugar in there. Alright. Do a little bit more garlic powder, not quite. Another full-on tablespoon. This is probably about a half, so we're going to say a tablespoon and a half garlic powder, cup of brown sugar, tablespoon smoked paprika, and run a little low on the paprika. That's all right. So we're going to call that about a half tablespoon of smoked paprika, which tends to be a little bit stronger than regular paprika. Gives it that real sweet, smoky flavor. Doesn't quite need so much. Next thing up, onion powder. We're going to do tablespoon onion powder. Again, so all the components we're mixing here, all the ingredients, you'll notice are mostly spices. I prefer to cook more with spices, less with salt and pepper. Things get salty for me pretty quick. So next up, chili powder. Another tablespoon chili powder. Cumin, be about a half tablespoon of that. Excuse me. Alexa, next. I love Johnny Cash though, boy. So I like listening to things that bring back good memories when I'm doing this. Growing up, used to eat a lot of barbecue growing up in the country, North Carolina. We sometimes get caught up in things, and it's nice to take a stroll down memory lane, and cooking does that for me. So next up is the salt. Excuse me. Next up is pepper, which takes a minute. So here we go. Let's see how much we got. Not quite enough. We're going to keep on grinding. All right. So what we're going to do, talking to you while I'm grinding here, we're going to grind the pepper, mix all the spices. We're going to rub down the pork butt. I got a pan here with a lid. This is probably, I don't know, maybe a 12 by 16 pan or something. Got them at the grocery store, two a pack with a lid. I'm going to rub it. I'm going to inject it, and I'm going to let it sit all night. Now, this is a bigger pork butt, biggest one I've done yet. It's also got a bone in it, so you got to take that into account. We got about a half a tablespoon here, pepper. We're going to give it another couple of twists, and I'm tired of twisting. And we got some younger people that's going to be eating on this one. So you don't want it to be too spicy, so hot spicy. All right. Got cumin. Time for a little bit of salt. Here we go. And that's going to be a tablespoon of salt. Now, I prefer to use sea salt. Just personal preference. All right, so done with that. Here we go. Back to what we were doing. Pull out my whisk. Mix my ingredients. Now, I am by no means a barbecue guru, but I've done a couple of these. This spice blend works well for me. This being pork, it's going to kind of tend to be a little bit sweeter. And we're going to mix it up and see how it goes. Also happens to be my first YouTube video. A little excited about that. Something I've been wanting to try out for a while. Hopefully this turns out good and I get to do some more. And if not, we're going to learn from this one and do better on the next one. All right? So, try and kind of move this along here. I want to make sure all my dry ingredients are mixed up real nice. Real nice. All right, and I think we are good. I think we're good. All right. So you can kind of see we've been mixing here. This is what my ingredients look like mixed up. Try and get you in some good light there. Like I said, a lot of brown sugar in there. So it's going to give some real good flavor. Let's cut this thing open. I am not trimming the pork butt. Not trimming it. What we're going to do is put it in for a nice long smoke. Getting up early in the morning, throwing it in there. What I'm doing is just kind of trimming the packaging off now. All right. Trying to get this wrapped up here. And there we go. All right, so I'm going to show you how this pork butt looks. So this is about a 9.5 pound bone-in pork butt. Okay. There it is. All right. You got the fat side, and then you got the meat side. We're going to do this one fat side up. All right. We're going to do a couple paper towels. So basically what we're going to do is just pat this down as we're working. Again, this is the biggest butt that I've done. I'm sure there's a few people I know that have done them that are substantially bigger, whole hogs, that kind of thing. I'm just kind of learning as I go, right? Trial by error. We all started somewhere. So I'm just going to reach in there, get a little bit of that. Sprinkle it right on top, and we're going to rub it on it. Rub and pat, give it the old rub and pat. Right? Probably going to leave a little bit of a mess on the counter. We'll clean that up later. We're going to try and keep it kind of small. I've got the grocery bag underneath it to help to catch a lot of that. And what my plan is that since we are smoking this fat side up, I'm going to rub the fat side first, sit it in there fat side down, so that rub just gets pressed in there really, really good until tomorrow morning when we go to put it to the smoke. All right. I'll take this, so you understand. I'll give you a picture of that here in a minute. I'll wipe this down. Kind of wipe it down a little bit. All right, let's move a couple of things around here real quick. Let that mess there, and that worked out pretty good. So now, I got my pork in my pan. Still got a lot of rub left. Planning on using it all, right? I mix it up, and I don't want to waste none, so we're just going to rub it in there, okay? Gently rubbing, patting while we're working. Gonna start at the top, make sure we get it really good on the sides. There we go. The brown sugar does work really well for this. It is kind of sticky, stickier than like a white regular granulated sugar. I guess it's the molasses in there, but it works really well. It sticks real good, and it helps to be a a good vehicle to get them other spices in there, right? So the garlic powder, the onion powder, the chili powder, all that other real good stuff is going to bind to that brown sugar, and we're just going to kind of mash it in there a little bit, spin the pan around, trying to get the other side a little here, and we're just going to look to really get that in there, right, and everything else. So this is going to marinate. It's pretty late tonight, getting kind of a late start. This is going to marinate for 5-6 hours in the refrigerator. We're going to put the lid on it. I'm about to inject it here in a little bit, and we're going to let this thing just rest a little while, clean up our mess, and look to kind of reconvene in the morning. Now, I will say this. This is the most effort I have put into this, so I expect this to be the best one I've ever made. I've made some that's been pretty good, but really, really got a lot of high hopes. This one right here, wash my hands real quick. Probably should have paused my video for that, but that's all right. I'll figure out the editing later. Like I said, it's my first YouTube video. I'm just excited about that. So what we're going to do for the injection, we're going to take some apple cider vinegar. We're going to dump a little bit of that in there. Not too much. We'll have a little barbecue. For this particular one, I'm using the Georgia's. This is the special blend. This is Eastern Barbecue Blasphemy right here. That's all right. Put that in there. Whisk it around. Good Lord of mercy, that smells like a summer in North Carolina. And then that's kind of what we look like right there, right? Like a runny ketchup. That's kind of what we look for. Get my injector out. Said it would. Note to self, next video, maybe have all your stuff ready when you get ready to start. But anyway, we're going to load her up. There she is. All right. Up. All right. Load it up. Go in the meaty part. And we're just going to work our way around. Again. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. If there is a y'all out there watching, I'm excited about this daggone cut of meat right here. A little bit of it dripping out, that's all right. Got a little bit of it getting on our rub, and that's all right too. We're going to spoon some of that excess rub down on it. Kind of pat off the wet spots, and we're almost done. We're ready to swirl up a little bit. Good. Got my spoon. We're going to spoon that extra rub up there. Seal off them places. There we go. All right. And there we go. We got one more step before we put this in. We're gonna hold off on that till tomorrow. And that is gonna be, we're gonna coat this whole thing in mustard. Right? Right before we go to put the smoke in. So, I'm gonna put the lid on this, put it in the refrigerator. Yeah, it's probably gonna have about 6 or 7 hours marinating in the refrigerator. I'm gonna get my wood chips out, get them in a jar so they're smoking, so we get some real good smoke. And we're gonna get ready to get after this thing in the morning. All right.